Well, it's a pretty rough morning weather-wise, or gonna be. So, we're gonna take this time to change oil in this old diesel. So we're gonna put a little Motorcraft Superduty diesel motor oil in here. I use the 1540 because of temperatures around this part of the country. Change the filter. It's also a Motorcraft FL 2051S. Got me a oil pan. It'll catch at least 15 quarts of oil. That plug on that motor is a 5/8 plug, and I got a strap wrench there to take that filter off. It's a 3.5-inch filter. So hopefully this will go off without much effort. So getting this job done here is not going to be real tough. All we got to do is slip up under the passenger side front wheel there, where I got my creeper laid out. Slide under there, and even if you're a big boy like me, you can scoot up under that running board. Get you right up under there to the rear end of that motor, and everything you need to do is staring you right there in the face. Now, running this movie camera up under this truck is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but there you see the drain plug, and just around beside it, you can see that oil filter. So we're going to pull that plug, drain that oil, and whenever it all runs out, we'll pull the filter. I don't know if you can see this good or not. Let me find me a spot here. All right, if you'll take and hold this oil filter wrench like this, make your fist, stick the handle in your hand where that loop sticks up. When you reach up here to this filter and stick it on, get it on up there a little high, I would recommend, in case it's real tight. You start pulling it, that's the way you want to go. Now, for all you perfectionists out there, that filter was not that loose. I done backed up, started over, but y'all get the idea. One thing I suggest you do when you go to put a new filter on is what I call priming it. In other words, get one of them jugs of oil and pour it full, and then wait, because it's going to settle down, and do it again, and then wait and do it again, and you probably wait a little more and do it again. Keep doing it until that thing gets full, and then ease back up under there and see how much of it you can keep in that filter and screw it on. That way that filter is already full, so when you crank that motor, it ain't pumping a bunch of air through there. So when you come out from under this thing for the next to the last time, make sure that you got that oil plug in there, and they say put 37 pounds of torque on it. I say get it on there tight enough where you know it ain't coming off, but not so tight that you got to have a cold chisel to get it off next time you try to change the oil here. Make sure you got that oil filter tightened down snug, and then a little more, but again, not so tight that you crush the crap out of that thing when you try to take it off next time. From here, all we got to do is pour a little oil in it, crank her up, then crawl back up under there and clean up your mess. Now, if you're like me, you got to have a 6-foot ladder to get up here to do this next part. We got to put some oil. You got to put some oil in there now that you drained it out. So you look for your little cap. Looks like this one here, and I know this says to put what, 1030 in there or 540, and that's not what I used. Yeah, it says use 1030 or 540, and I'm using 1540. I'll do me, you do you. Anyway, get your funnel, run it off in that hole, and make sure you wipe that funnel down good. Let me show y'all. That thing's been laying around the shop for a little bit, and I wiped that dude off and got all that crap out the inside of that funnel. And if I'd have poured that oil through there, most of that junk, or at least half of it, would have probably been in my motor. It may not look like much, but you don't want it in there. So wipe your funnel down. Takes a minute. Now this is really important. When you get down there filling the motor up, you're gonna notice that jug there, if I can get this in the frame, says that it's 5 quarts. And this motor holds 13. So if you got a degree for high school education, or maybe even a 5th grade education, you'll know that 5 and 5 and 5 is 15, which is more than 13. So don't pull all that last jug in there. We're about a little bit over half, and then let's crank it up and look at the dipstick and see where we need to go from there. All right, so I got oil in the motor. Got the lid on the motor, although you probably can't see it from here. I don't know. It's there, take my word for it. Plugs in the motor, filters on the motor. Keys in the ignition. Let's see what she sounds like. My gosh, she ain't even clattering. I'll pull the dipstick on here in a second. We'll see how we did. And then we'll move on to fuel filters. So, now it's time to check the oil. In case you're wondering, it's the one with the loop on the left. So after looking at the old dipstick, look like we're right where we need to be. So as far as the hard work, that's all done. All we got left to do now is to reset our oil indicator meter, whatever you call that thing. On this lariat, that's pretty easy. You just reach up there, go through your settings on your steering wheel, find the one that says oil reset, and push it and hold it a second, and it's good to go. If you got one of them pheasant editions, I don't know what to tell you. Just turn the key on, turn the key off, turn the key on, push the brake and the foot feed, and a few other things. You're gonna have to look that up in your manual, I guess. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Appreciate you.